Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tuesday TNT. It's been a while since we post, but today we're going to hear from the first time in almost 2 weeks, we're going to hear Hercules talk about the challenge that King Scott threw out a couple weeks ago. Let's hear what he had to say.
Ever since Day of Extreme, all that people have been talking about is King Scott and how he returns. Well, y'all shouldn't be talking about him. Y'all should be talking about me, the king, the one who's held the champion for 100 days. Look at this beauty. It's mine still. And Scott, since you want to fight so bad, you're going to fight Brandon in the next match. So, if you want to fight me, come out to the ring next Tuesday TNT. I'll see you there.
Next Tuesday TNT is going to be explosive, but today we're going to hear King Scott versus Brandon. King Scott has not been in action in almost 2 months. And here we go. There's been a lot of rain over in San Antonio, but it's okay. Here we go. Here he comes, man. Here comes the 4-time world champion. Here comes Brandon. Brandon saying he's the Superman of AEW. Showing that out right now in this circling in your head. Got the bait in everything you ever said. Now I see the truth, I got it down. A different motive in your eyes, and now I'm bound. See you later. I see your fantasy. You wanna make it a reality. Tied with third, but here we go. It's been 2 weeks. Here comes the music. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 months. My apologies. Since we've seen King Scott in action, and here he comes out to the ring. Look at that new attire. Look at the way that man looks. King Scott. It's been so long since we've seen King Scott in action. Great to see him in action tonight. Takes on Brandon. He jumps right through. No, he's not losing his composure. It's been 2 months. He's been out of action, and he cannot wait to get back in action. And a backflip. They already know he didn't lose any ability right there. The gun that was going to show up. Here we go. What? What is King Scott?
I haven't been back in almost 2 months. I think the fans want something a little better than just a one-on-one match. I think they want a world championship match. Right here, right now.
Whoa!
Fan fun.
I don't think they do.
I'm the fan favorite, so I'll do it for them. Challenge.
Oh my god. So it's a world championship match right now. It's a world championship match. It is now turned into a championship match right now. King Scott just wheeled his way into a championship match. And here we go. You know, lock our gloves and look at this. King Scott with the DDT. King Scott showing he can be here. He can hang it with the best. That clothesline right to Brandon. King Scott showing that he can hang it with the best. Right now, he's trying to prove that. It's been so long since we've seen King Scott in action. And now we finally get to see him in action. The methodical pace of King Scott. Oh my god, just hitting the arm of Brandon. King Scott takes it slow. This is his kind of pace right here. Tries to go for a splash. Brandon's going to move out of the way. Tries to go for a splash. Look at the height that King Scott got on that. So you need a clothesline. Oh my god, that was a brutal clothesline. Brandon's still holding that shoulder. King Scott kicked that shoulder pretty hard. It was a brutal clothesline. Here goes King Scott. And a kick right to the gut of Brandon. And there's a bulldog. There's his bulldog. Brandon hits the bulldog. He's trying to go for a pin. But no, King Scott's going to kick out. Brandon's got to know better. King Scott, a former AEW World Champion, a former AEW Champion, and the only IC Champion in AEW. And Brandon's just the knees to the side. He should know better. King Scott has accomplished so much in his career. But he has yet to beat Hercules. Next week is going to be explosive. And a kick right to the side. Right to the side. And what is this? What is King Scott doing? King Scott with the leg drop. Right to the stomach, right to Brandon, right to the world champion. And King Scott got him in. King Scott got him in ankle lock. Ankle lock locked in. Brandon doesn't know what to do. He's going to flip around and kick King Scott. I don't have to take him down. King Scott with a drop kick right to Brandon. King Scott is trying to put Brandon away. Remember, this is a championship match. This was not meant to be a championship match, but King Scott talked Brandon into it, saying this is what the fans want. Brandon. Look at that, Brandon. Look at that DDT. That DDT was vicious by Brandon. That DDT, and now he's going for a pin. That's a weak cover. He's going to kick out. Brandon looks hurt. I don't know what's wrong with Brandon, but he's holding the leg. He's holding that leg, man. What's wrong with Brandon, but he's holding that leg. He is holding that leg. Brandon with a drop kick. Even though that leg is hurting him, Brandon still hits a drop kick right to the king. And a leg drop right to the king as well. Brandon, even though that leg seems to be troubling him right now, he is still putting in his 100% effort. This is a world championship match right now. And look at that, just the punches raining down on Brandon. The more punches being thrown by King Scott. More punches being thrown by King Scott. King Scott throwing those punches, and not only that, he's just going to hit Brandon. Those punches are raining down. And oh my God. They kick right to the side. You see Brandon just falling down. They kick right to the side of Brandon. What does the king have in mind now? The king suplex. The king is not rolling into this. Whoa, what is this? What is this? He's going to lift Brandon right back up. A second suplex right to Brandon. And King Scott's going to roll back up for a third time. For a third time. What is this? The power of the king. What a move by the king. And now he's going for a pin. He's going for a pin. 1, 2. Brandon's going to kick out. Brandon's going to kick out, man. This is amazing. This match is 0. It went 0 to 100 when King Scott took everything out of Brandon. Brandon's still limping. That leg is definitely hurting Brandon. Look at that Brandon hopping. Brandon's going to hop in that move. And a punch right to the king. Punch one more time to Brandon. And those hard strikes. Brandon's going to stop it by jumping. Brandon's leg looks really hurt, guys. I don't know. And look at that bridge over. The bridge over. He's going for a pin. He's going for a pin. Brandon's going to kick out with that shoulder. Brandon's going to kick out with that shoulder. Brandon still putting in his 100% effort. What does the king have in mind? And the king trying to go for a suplex. And look at that. Those elbows. Oh my God. That elbow right to the back of the head of King Scott. Oh my God. King Scott. Did you see the head of the king? Oh my God. The head of the king. King Scott could be knocked out. Are you kidding me? That was vicious. That was vicious. And now he's going for a pin. He's going for a weak pin. King Scott's still going to kick out, though. Look like King Scott was knocked out after that spiked head that Brandon did the DDT on. Oh, my God. That was vicious. That was a vicious DDT by Brandon. Just the way King Scott's head looked was brutal. And now what is Brandon? Now what does Brandon have in mind? King Scott has not moved since that DDT. He's only kicked out. He hasn't really moved. Brandon's still hopping. That leg looks swollen. And Brandon with the drop kick right to the king. King is limp. King is lifeless right now. That DDT must have took so much out of him. Brandon can't even stand up. That leg is killing him right now. Brandon cannot even stand up. Brandon's going to try and walk on it right now. You can see the pain on Brandon's face right now. The world champion. The pain that is on his face right now. And King Scott's going to roll up. King Scott's going to try and roll up, get a pin. King Scott was playing possum and Brandon's going to kick out. Brandon's going to kick out. Brandon's going to kick out. King Scott was just playing a little bit of possum to get Brandon up. Look at that, the drop kick right to the leg of Brandon. King Scott proving why he can be here, why he can hang with the best. King Scott with a leg drop right to Brandon's other leg. Brandon, remember, King Scott, I don't think King Scott realizes that Brandon's leg is killing him right now. I don't think King Scott realizes it. If I was King Scott, I would go for the leg. King Scott with the knee right to the chest of Brandon, a shining wizard. And now I think it's over. King Scott's going to go for a pin.
1,
2. Brandon's going to kick out. A weak kick out by Brandon. Brandon's been getting these weak kickouts, man. Brandon's hurt. And the punches are happening. The punches are happening. Brandon with the punches. Keep going. Bulldog. And Brandon hit King Scott with the Bulldogs. King Scott's rolling over. This could be it. King Scott could lose right here. Here we go. No, King Scott's still going to stay up. Brandon is shocked. King Scott has survived so many things. Look at that. King Scott's going to try and Brandon for a weak pin. Weak pin, but Brandon's going to roll over. That's going to get his leg up. King Scott with a dive, and he missed yet again. He missed yet again. He had that dive, and he missed yet again. And Brandon. King Scott, though. King Scott with a roll-up pin. Roll-up pin on Brandon. Has the tights. He has the tights, but Brandon's still going to kick out. King Scott had the tights, and Brandon is still going to kick out. What an amazing move by Brandon. What an amazing move by Brandon. And those punches ensued. Those punches are not weak. Those punches are hard. Choke slam. Choke slam. And a leg drop. Brandon's looking to end this right here. Another leg drop right to the king. Brandon has a second win. A second coming. Are you kidding me? Brandon is amazing right now. Brandon's showing some amazing agility right now. The adrenaline is rushing through him. I don't think he feels it. He still feels that leg, but doesn't feel it nearly as much as he used to be because he couldn't even stand up. What is Brandon doing now? Brandon, spear! King Scott hit Brandon with a spear! Spear! Are you kidding me? It's over. It's over. No, I don't think it is. King Scott. King Scott. What is King Scott with a splash. King Scott with a splash right to Brandon. This time it worked. Third time's a charm. And here we go with the pin. 1, 2, 3. No, Brandon's going to kick out. A weak kick out by Brandon. Are you kidding me? A weak kick out by Brandon. This is pretty much over. I don't know what Brandon else can do. What else Brandon could do? Here we go. Throwing it right here. Oh, look at that. A splash missed. The splash missed. Here we go, man. King Scott got Brandon up. King Scott Brandon got over his shoulders. You know what this is? You know what this is? It's time for a roll execution where Brandon's going to roll out of it. And Brandon, oh, that's spiking of the head once again by the king. I think it's done for the king. 1, 2. The King Scott's still kicking out. What an amazing match these two are putting each other through. Are you kidding me? This has been back and forth for over 10 minutes. And these two men, neither of them want to give up. King Scott, oh, look at that. Missed. What has Brandon got in mind? King Scott, oh, punches. King Scott trying to stay up on the kicks for Brandon. Kicks to Brandon right to the face. Kicks to Brandon. And a PKO right to the king. Right to the king. King's not down though. King is not down though. What does Brandon have in mind now? What does Brandon have in mind? Oh my God. Oh my God! Oh my God! The neck of King Scott! Are you kidding me? It's over. It's over. Did you see the way that King Scott's neck just hit the... Oh, my God. King Scott holding the back of his neck. The spine must be internally... Oh, my God. King Scott, he's still getting up. The valiant effort and the spinning heel kick. I think it's over. I think it's over. Did you see the way King Scott's lead-headed? 1, 2, 3. Brandon is the winner. Brandon is your winner. Brandon is still your world champion. What a day. What a return by King Scott. Valiant effort, but Brandon is still your world champion. Brandon is still limping on that leg. Brandon, what does King Scott have in mind? What? King Scott's going to shake Brandon's hand. That was a valiant effort by both men. Brandon being able to be victorious right now. Brandon is your world champion. There's no one like Brandon. 4 times world champion. Brandon just defending his world champion tonight. Raising the hand. King Scott. Thank you for watching Tuesday TNT. We'll see you next week.